This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what has been making headlines in Armenia over the weekend. An Armenian court on Friday sentenced former Nagorno-Karabakh official Sargis Galstyan to 18 years in prison for espionage on behalf of Azerbaijan, while the prosecution, which had sought a life sentence, plans to appeal. The verdict stated that Galstyan was recruited by Azerbaijani intelligence in 2020 and provided Baku with information on Nagorno-Karabakh's population, resources, weapons and potential resistance, both during the 2020 war and the September 2023 ethnic cleansing. Following the forced exodus of Armenians from Karabakh, Galstyan, who served as deputy chief of staff to Nagorno-Karabakh's last president, stayed behind in the region with his wife. He reportedly collaborated with Azerbaijani forces, overseeing the region's capital Stepanakert and sharing updates with family members who had fled to Armenia. Galstyan allegedly declared himself a servant of Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev, but left Karabakh in April, citing pressure from Azerbaijani authorities. Upon his arrival in Armenia, he was immediately arrested. The court considered Galstyan a foreign national and therefore charged him with espionage, as treason applies only to Armenian nationals. During the trial, he argued that he acted in the best interests of local Armenians, claiming that Nagorno-Karabakh officials, including President Samvel Sharamanyan, were aware of his collaboration, although Sharamanyan denied this. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan outlined a series of major policy initiatives ranging from European integration and healthcare reform to government efficiency measures and international relations during an interview for the country's TV Channel 1 aired on Friday. Pashinyan said that the government's push for closer ties with the European Union has gained substantial support in Armenian society, with an independent petition campaign gathering enough signatures in support for a referendum seeking to apply for EU membership. However, the path to European integration faces several domestic hurdles, particularly in the healthcare sector. Despite doubling the healthcare budget since 2018 and significantly increasing state-funded medical services, Pashinyan acknowledged that Armenia is not yet prepared to implement comprehensive healthcare insurance, as the general public appears to be dissatisfied with the reform. It's surprising that people disapprove of it. With this kind of reaction, this whole reform might turn out to be a failure, so I won't allow this to happen until we get a clear understanding of what people want, Pashinyan said. Importantly, the introduction of universal health insurance is considered a vital precondition not only for European integration but also for achieving visa liberalization with the EU. In a parallel effort to modernize government operations and promote more sustainable practices, Pashinyan announced a dramatic reduction in staff vehicles across government agencies, pushing for officials to utilize public transportation instead of government-provided cars. Speaking of foreign affairs, Pashinyan revealed the latest updates in Armenia's relations with Azerbaijan, suggesting that both countries might withdraw their current claims against each other from international courts, but only if they reach a normalization agreement. This was, however, earlier cited as a precondition to the deal by Azerbaijani officials. Such a provision will not prevent either side from filing lawsuits in the future, but I hope there will be no need to do so, he added. Armenia's first satellite, Armsat-1, has produced its first set of high-quality images of Armenia's territory from orbit, as revealed by High-Tech Industry Minister Nhyութի Harapetyan on Friday. The images, showing Armenia's landscape across different seasons, come from the Spanish-made Armsat-1 satellite, launched via SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket in May 2022, though the country still awaits the opening of its first satellite control center, necessary for fully utilizing the satellite's capabilities. The release of these images represents the first demonstration of Armsat-1's capabilities, as previous images shared by the ministry in 2022 were of low quality and heavily processed. The satellite is intended to assist with critical applications including border monitoring, disaster prevention, and environmental protection. Despite multiple announcements and promised deadlines since October 2022, Armenia has repeatedly postponed the opening of a satellite control center in the country. While the High-Tech Industry Ministry has claimed that the construction of the receiving station is complete and the center is ready for operation, they have yet to provide a specific timeline for its official launch. You can also watch the latest edition of CivilNet's Weekly Insight series. In this episode, host Eric Hakopian dissects two major developments: the high-profile visit of climate activist Greta Thunberg to Armenia and the disastrous COP29 climate conference hosted by Azerbaijan in Baku. Hakopian provides analysis on Thunberg's efforts to push the Azerbaijani government on its environmental policies and human rights track record. He further assesses the COP29 event, describing it as a clown show disaster rife with greenwashing and geopolitical posturing. You can watch the full podcast by following the link in the video description below. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 31. This is because Armenia's national currency, dram, was established and put into circulation 31 years ago, this past Friday. The name dram dates back to the 12th century when it was used for gold coins in Cilician Armenia. Interestingly, the word shares its origin with the ancient Greek currency drachma, which was used in Greece before the adoption of the euro. Since its introduction in 1993, dram banknotes have undergone 2 design changes, with the most recent series launched in 2018 featuring innovative hybrid paper polymer technology, a special combination that makes the banknotes more durable and harder to counterfeit while maintaining the traditional feel of paper money. Notably, the Armenian dram has emerged as one of the world's most stable currencies in recent years, maintaining near zero inflation and joining the Swiss franc as the only global currencies that haven't depreciated against the US dollar over the past decade. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.